2026 is the year gaming gets really exciting. These 20 games are why we love this hobby so much. Some you've probably heard about. Others might be completely new discoveries. All of them? Potentially amazing. Let's explore what's coming and what makes each one special. Alright, so get this. A studio from China just released a trailer that got more votes than Sony's biggest games. Wild, right? Tides of Annihilation is what happens when you mix King Arthur legends with modern-day London. You play as Gwendolyn, and you're the last person alive in a ruined London that's split between our world and a magical nightmare realm called Avalon. Your mission? Find the legendary Holy Grail, save your sister, and battle demon knights. But here's the coolest part. You don't fight alone. You summon ghost versions of the Knights of the Round Table, and each knight has special abilities. It's like collecting powerful warriors, each with their own unique powers. The combat is fast and action-packed like Devil May Cry, not slow and super difficult like Dark Souls. You get 4 different weapons to master, over 30 epic bosses to defeat, and these massive towering knights that you can actually climb on and explore before battling them. It's like Shadow of the Colossus meets legendary British history. The game's built in Unreal Engine 5, which means it looks absolutely stunning. It's coming in 2026 and everyone's talking about it. Will it live up to the hype? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so the team behind Ghost Runner just said, what if we took everything we're good at and made it even more intense? That's Valor Mortis. You play as William, a British soldier who fought for Napoleon and, well, he died. But then Napoleon brings him back from the dead, because apparently that's possible now. The problem? There's a plague that turned all your fellow soldiers into undead monsters, and now you have to fight through them while wondering how your life got this crazy. It's a first-person Souls-like game, which means it's really challenging. The playtest had over 515,000 player deaths. You've got a sword for slashing, a flintlock pistol for shooting, but ammo is super rare, so use it wisely, and you can learn magical fire abilities. There's blocking, parrying, dodging, all the skills that'll test your reflexes. The game looks like it's set in the 1800s, but feels like a horror movie with creepy abandoned buildings and monsters everywhere. It has Metroidvania-style levels, meaning you'll explore, backtrack, and find new paths as you get stronger. Coming in 2026. If you love challenging combat games with a spooky atmosphere, this could be amazing. Just be ready for a tough adventure. So, NetEase, the company that made Marvel Rivals, decided to create a single-player game. And instead of playing it safe, they went all in with ancient China. You play as a father and his son during the Tang Dynasty, and you need to deliver an important message to the capital city that's 1,000 miles away. Sound simple? Nope. Everything wants to stop you. The game's inspired by God of War, and the combat looks intense and cinematic, with realistic sword fighting and sneaky stealth sections. They actually worked with real historians to scan actual locations along the ancient Silk Road and recreate them in Unreal Engine 5. The environments look incredible. Deserts, ancient cities, crumbling fortresses, all of it. The story is about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, which is really cool. This isn't about some chosen hero with magic powers, it's just a dad and his kid trying to survive while delivering an important message. Basically, the most dangerous postal service ever. It might launch in late 2026. And after Black Myth Wukong showed how amazing Chinese game studios can be, I'm really excited for Blood Message. It could be the next big action-adventure game. Team Ninja said, we've made 2 Nioh games, but what if we made it even bigger? Nioh 3 releases February 6th, 2026. This time you play as Tokugawa Takechio, who's about to become the shogun until his evil brother shows up with an army of demons and ruins everything. Classic sibling rivalry. But with way more battles. Here's the big change. You can now play as either a samurai or a ninja, and they're completely different. Samurai is the classic style with blocking, parrying, and technical combat. Ninja is way more mobile. You're dodging, jumping, creating magic clones, basically being a parkour master while using cool abilities. And you can switch between both styles whenever you want. The game's less linear now with bigger areas to explore, side quests, optional bosses, and you can even play with up to 3 friends online. The story involves time travel, which makes things extra interesting. The demo had some technical hiccups, but the team's working on fixing them. The graphics aren't mind-blowing. Team Ninja focuses on gameplay first, but that's what matters. If you love the first 2 games, you'll probably love this one. Just be ready for a serious challenge. Tarsier Studios made Little Nightmares, which gave players serious chills, and now they said, let's make something even scarier. Reanimal is their new horror game, and it's like Little Nightmares, but with co-op, so you can be scared with a friend. You play as a brother and sister who are orphans, and you need to rescue your orphan friends from a nightmare island filled with monsters. Sounds terrifying, right? The game can be played alone or with online co-op. And here's the awesome part. It has a friend's pass like It Takes Two, meaning only one person needs to buy it, and your friend can play for free. Super generous. The whole game uses a shared camera that keeps both characters on screen at all times, which creates tons of tension. You'll solve puzzles, sneak past monsters, and probably jump out of your seat a lot. Tarsier is known for their creepy art style and disturbing creature designs, and Reanimal looks absolutely spooky. There's a demo available right now if you want to try it. It's coming February 13th, 2026 for $40, which is a great price for a horror co-op experience. If you loved Little Nightmares or It Takes Two, this combines the best of both worlds. Okay, so Capcom looked at Raccoon City and said, you know what? We need to go back there again. Resident Evil 9 releases February 27th, and this time you play as two people. Grace, a scared FBI analyst who's new to fighting zombies, and Leon Kennedy, who's been through so many zombie adventures that he upgraded his knife to a hatchet. Here's something really interesting. These zombies aren't completely mindless. They remember parts of their old lives, so you might see one trying to clean or do their old job, just in a really strange way. Grace plays like classic survival horror, sneaking around carefully, conserving ammo, staying super cautious. Leon's gameplay is pure action. He takes everything from RE4 Remake and lets you block attacks with a hatchet and use really cool combat moves. The game lets you switch between first-person and third-person views whenever you want, which is super neat. You're exploring the ruins of Raccoon City 30 years after the zombie outbreak, and it looks absolutely gorgeous with amazing graphics and ray tracing technology. There's even a special Hamilton watch collaboration and a custom Porsche for Leon. The standard edition costs $70 and the deluxe edition has extra costumes and weapon designs. It's coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and even Switch 2. If you're a Resident Evil fan, you probably already know you want this. The series has been amazing lately, and Requiem looks like it's going to continue that trend. Team Ninja took one of the most famous scary games ever made and said, let's remake it with modern graphics. Fatal Frame 2. Remake launches March 12th, 2026, and the story is really unique. You play as twin sisters Mio and Mayu exploring a mysterious ghost village, and your only weapon is a camera. Yep, a camera. You battle ghosts by taking pictures of them, which sounds unusual until you realize how spooky it is when you have to get close to spirits and capture them through your viewfinder. The remake looks incredible. They rebuilt everything with better graphics, improved lighting, shadows, and atmospheric effects that create an amazing, scary atmosphere. There are new gameplay features like holding your sister's hand to recover health, but if she gets scared, she might fall and you'll need to help her up. You can equip special charms for different bonuses, explore new areas, and there's even a brand new ending they added. The original game from 2003 is considered one of the scariest horror games ever made. Even famous game developers say it's extremely frightening. This remake keeps all that spooky atmosphere, but makes it look better than ever. It costs $40 to $50 depending on which edition you choose. If you like horror games and mysterious adventures, this is definitely worth checking out. Just maybe don't play it late at night with the lights off. Pearl Abyss, the studio behind Black Desert Online, spent years making a single-player fantasy action game, and it looks absolutely amazing. Crimson Desert launches March 19th for $70, and you play as Cliff, leader of a mercenary group called the Greymanes. Your team got ambushed and scattered, so your job is finding the survivors and rebuilding while dealing with a continent that's in total war. This is a full open-world adventure. Deserts, frozen tundras, forests, cities, you can explore everything. You can ride horses, encounter dragons, glide through the air, the whole adventure package. The combat looks absolutely incredible, like if you took The Witcher 3 and cranked up the action. It features combo-based fighting with swords, spears, bows, magic abilities, and you can combine everything together for super powerful attacks. The boss fights look massive, with mechanical dragons and huge monsters that provide epic challenges. There are side quests everywhere, puzzles to solve, different factions to interact with, and you can even go fishing and cooking because sometimes it's nice to take a break from all the action. The game runs on Pearl Abyss's own engine called Black Space, and it looks gorgeous on PS5 Pro. Pre-ordering gets you exclusive gear, including a PlayStation-only armor set. This could be the big fantasy RPG surprise of 2026. It's been in development for a long time. It's almost here, and honestly, it looks amazing! A Korean studio is making what looks like a blend of stealth action and dramatic storytelling, and it's really interesting. Mudong Two Hearts is a stealth action game set in Korea where a terrorist attack happens on an important peace day. You play as two characters, Ji Jong-tae, a special forces soldier, and Gavi, a K-pop idol who gets caught up in this whole situation. Yeah, that's the setup, a soldier and a pop star trying to survive and uncover a conspiracy. The gameplay switches between stealth and action. You can sneak around quietly avoiding detection, or use combat skills when necessary. It's all third-person view, very cinematic, with smooth transitions between cutscenes and gameplay. The developers are using motion capture from actual Korean special forces to make the movements look super realistic. There are no loading screens, everything flows together like a movie. The game's coming in 2026, but no exact date yet. And it'll be on PS5, Xbox, and PC for probably $60 to $70. We don't get many games like this anymore. That serious, story-driven military adventure, but with a Korean perspective. If they nail the story and the stealth mechanics work well, this could be a real hidden gem. It's a completely unique experience. IO Interactive, the amazing team behind Hitman, are making a James Bond game, and they delayed it to make it even better. Originally March 27th, now it's May 27th, 2026. You play as a young 26-year-old Bond who's basically a rookie agent trying to earn his 00 status. And it's completely original, not based on any movies or books, just inspired by the Bond universe. Patrick Gibson plays Bond, Lenny Kravitz is the villain called the Pirate King, and the voice cast is incredible. The gameplay looks like Hitman mixed with Uncharted, third-person action with stealth, combat, gadgets, car chases, the whole spy adventure. You can choose how to handle missions, sneak around quietly, use cool gadgets, or take the action route. The combat is really smooth. Bond can disarm enemies in creative ways and use advanced fighting techniques. There's an Omega Watch and Aston Martin Valhalla that work as special spy gadgets from Q. The game's built on IO's Glacier engine, with new technology for volumetric smoke and lighting that looks stunning. They showed over 30 minutes of gameplay from missions in Slovakia and London, and it looks polished and cinematic. The standard edition is $70, but if you pre-order, you get upgraded to the deluxe edition for free with early access and exclusive outfits. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and Switch 2. This is the first major Bond game in over 10 years. And if IO brings even half the creativity they had with Hitman, this could be something special. Don't nod. The studio behind Life is Strange teamed up with the actual European Space Agency to make a realistic sci-fi game about astronauts stranded on a frozen alien planet. Aphelion is coming in 2026, and it gives serious space exploration adventure vibes. By the year 2060, Earth is in trouble, and humanity's last hope is a ninth planet called Persephone at the edge of the solar system. You play as two astronauts, Ariane and Thomas, whose ship crashes, separating them across this ice-covered world. Your goal is simple: survive, find each other, and figure out what happened. You switch between both characters and they play completely differently. Ariane gets the parkour action, climbing, rappelling, grappling across dangerous terrain like she's doing extreme sports on an alien world. Thomas is more investigative and resourceful, dealing with different challenges and puzzles. The catch? There are hostile creatures on this planet, and you'll need to use stealth to avoid them because fighting isn't always an option. The game focuses on exploration and atmosphere, with that classic don't nod storytelling, where the environment tells you as much as the dialogue. It's built in Unreal Engine 5 and looks absolutely gorgeous. All frozen landscapes and mysterious alien structures. They worked with actual space scientists to make it feel realistic, so expect legitimate space exploration vibes. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, probably $60 to $70. If you loved games like Deliver Us Mars or want something that takes space exploration seriously, Aphelion might be perfect for you. Remember when Capcom announced this mysterious sci-fi game back in 2020? Well, it's finally here. Pramada launches April 24th, 2026, and after 6 years of development, it looks absolutely incredible. You play as Hugh Williams, a soldier who gets stranded on a lunar research station after a massive earthquake hits. He's injured and basically in trouble until he's found by Diana, a mysterious android girl made from advanced material called Luna Filament that can create anything if you have the right data. Here's the cool twist. You control both of them at the same time. Hugh handles the action with his special suit that has thrusters for movement, and he's your standard action hero. Diana can hack enemy robots to expose their weak spots, and she can also hack the station itself to open new paths and solve environmental puzzles. It's got that buddy team dynamic, but with way more sci-fi mystery. The game's set on the moon, looks atmospheric and interesting, and Capcom built it in the RE engine, so it runs super smooth. There's even a demo available on Steam right now if you want to try it. Standard Edition is $60, Deluxe is $70 with extra costumes and bonuses. It's Capcom's first original new game series in 8 years. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and even Switch 2. This could be Capcom's big sci-fi adventure. We'll find out in April. Housemarque, the amazing team behind Returnal, looked at that game and said, what if we made it even more exciting? Sados releases April 30th, 2026, exclusively on PS5, and it's basically Returnal's spiritual successor with tons of improvements. You play as Arjun Devraj, voiced by Rahul Kohli from Midnight Mass, and he's a Soltari enforcer investigating a lost colony on the planet Carcosa that's stuck under this ominous eclipse. The story is about finding someone, uncovering conspiracies, and dealing with nightmarish monsters that look absolutely creepy. Combat is pure Housemarque action. Third-person bullet dodging with intense movement mechanics. But here's the big difference from Returnal. You have a shield. The Soltari shield lets you block attacks and absorb energy from incoming projectiles. Then you can transform that energy and blast it back at enemies. It's aggressive, fast, rewards skillful play, and unlike Returnal, you keep permanent upgrades between runs. You can customize your loadout with over 30 weapons mixing human and alien technology. And there's a second chance feature that revives you on your first defeat, so you get another opportunity. The world changes every run with new paths and secrets. There's a hub area with NPCs including Jane Perry returning as a character. And the whole thing looks visually stunning with that Housemarque polish. Standard Edition is $70, Deluxe is $80 with early access and armor sets inspired by other PlayStation games like Returnal, Ghost of Yotei, and God of War. If Returnal was too challenging for you, Sados might be more accessible while still being excitingly difficult. Neon Giant made The Ascent, that gorgeous cyberpunk game. And now they're back with a first-person shooter that looks like Cyberpunk 2077 meets Deus Ex. No Laws coming in 2026, and you play as Gray Harker, an ex-military veteran who just wants to tend his plants and live peacefully in the cyber-noir city of Port Desire. Obviously, trouble comes knocking, and you have to settle some scores. The game's an open-world immersive sim, which means you can approach missions however you want. Stealth, precision tactics, or action-focused gameplay. Your choices actually matter, affecting how the city and NPCs react to you. You can make big decisions that change how the story unfolds, which is really cool. Port Desire is this vertical city carved into seaside cliffs, full of neon lights, interesting characters, and corporate districts. You've got advanced military upgrades, sci-fi gadgets, parkour movement, and the action is supposed to be spectacular and exciting. The developers are a team of experienced folks from other major studios, so they know how to make shooters feel awesome. They're calling it a cyber noir story with detective elements. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC for probably $60 to $70. If you've been waiting for a proper cyberpunk adventure game, this might be exactly what you're looking for. It's more focused and detailed than massive open-world games. Chinese studio S-Game has been working on this for years, and it finally has a date. September 9th, 2026. Phantom Blade Zero is what happens when you mix Devil May Cry combat with Chinese martial arts movies and make it look absolutely gorgeous. You play as Soul, an elite warrior who gets framed for a crime he didn't commit, and now he's got 66 days to clear his name. The whole game is his journey to uncover the truth while being hunted by his former allies. The combat is the star here. Third-person action inspired by classic kung fu movies, with real martial arts techniques captured through motion capture. You've got over 30 weapons to use, including blades with ultimate abilities and special secondary weapons like lances, axes, and hammers. You can learn weapons from bosses after defeating them and master their signature moves. Combat has blocking, parrying, dodging, but some enemy attacks require special timing, forcing you to adapt and learn. There are even cinematic moments in boss fights where you counter attacks in spectacular ways. The game's built in Unreal Engine 5 and looks stunning. They call the style Kung Fu Punk, mixing traditional martial arts with machinery and modern aesthetics. It's got fantasy elements and shifting realities you explore. The story is 20 to 30 hours with another 20 hours of side content. Standard price, probably $70. PS5 console, exclusive for 12 months. Then PC. After Black Myth Wukong proved Chinese action games can be huge hits, Phantom Blade Zero is positioned to be the next big success. And honestly, the combat alone looks absolutely amazing. Insomniac Games, the masterminds behind Spider-Man, are making a Wolverine game, and it's coming fall 2026, exclusively on PS5. After years of waiting, we finally got an official gameplay trailer in September, and it looks absolutely amazing. You play as Logan, voiced by Liam McIntyre, and this isn't Spider-Man with claws, this is a more serious, action-packed adventure. The trailer showed Logan on a journey to uncover his mysterious past while using his adamantium claws in combat. The combat looks fast and exciting, built on Insomniac's signature fluid movement, but way more intense. You'll use Berserker Rage to build momentum and those claws to defeat anyone who stands in your way. The story takes Logan to multiple locations including Madripoor, the Canadian wilderness, and Tokyo, all potential settings for epic action. Characters include Mystique, Omega Red, and the Reavers as enemy factions. More gameplay details are coming in spring 2026, probably at a dedicated showcase. Built from the ground up for PS5 and PS5 Pro, it'll have ray tracing, 3D audio, and DualSense haptic feedback, so you feel every action. Standard price probably $70. Industry insiders think it'll launch September or October. After that Spider-Man success, expectations are sky high for Insomniac to nail Logan's darker, more serious style of heroism. And honestly, if anyone can do Wolverine justice, it's this studio. Note, this game is rated for mature audiences. One of the biggest game releases is coming November 19th, 2026. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed a couple times, but Rockstar says this is the final date. The game returns to Vice City, which is based on Miami, with an absolutely massive map to explore. For the first time in the mainline series, you control two protagonists, Jason and Lucia. The game features everything that made GTA 5 popular but improved. Better graphics, more detailed world, smarter AI, and amazing physics. Rockstar is using their Rage engine pushed to the absolute limit, and based on the trailers, it looks photorealistic. Standard Edition is $70 on PS5 and Xbox Series XS. No PC version at launch, probably coming 2027. Take-Two's CEO keeps saying they need extra time to deliver incredible quality. When this releases, it'll break entertainment records. Every other publisher is moving their release dates to avoid competing with it. This is one of the most anticipated games ever, and if it actually releases on time, November 2026 will be huge in the gaming world. Important note, Grand Theft. Auto games are rated M for mature and are designed for adult audiences only. Capcom's bringing back Onimusha after 18 years, and Way of the Sword is coming in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. This franchise was really popular in the early 2000s with its samurai action-adventure style. You play as Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary swordsman. Set in historical Kyoto mixed with supernatural elements, you wield the Oni Gauntlet, a mystical artifact that gives you special powers against demon enemies. Combat focuses on the Isen system, a timed counterattack that lets you defeat enemies with skillful strikes. Think samurai action but faster and more arcade style, not impossibly difficult. The developers confirmed they're not making a super hard game. This is classic Onimusha action with modern improvements. You'll explore ancient Kyoto transformed into a fantasy world, engage in sword battles, and use Oni vision to identify all enemies in an area. Energy you collect upgrades your weapons and abilities. The game's largely story-driven with some open areas and side quests, running about 20 hours. Built in Unreal Engine 5, it features gorgeous visuals and that classic adventure-style pacing, but with supernatural enemies instead. The developers partnered with Flying Wild Hog, who made Shadow Warrior, so the action should be top tier. Capcom's been on a hot streak reviving classic franchises. Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, all doing amazing. Onimusha could be next if they nail the balance between classic gameplay and modern expectations. Estimated price $60 to $70. No exact date yet, but based on hints, early 2026 seems likely. Neki, the studio behind mobile games like Shadow Fight, is making their first console game, and it looks like action movies meet cyberpunk parkour. Spine is coming in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, and PC. You play as Redline, a rebellious street artist who gets a special combat implant called Spine that gives her amazing abilities. Set in a futuristic world where the Tensor Corporation controls everything with AI. Redline's searching for her captured brother while fighting the authoritarian regime. The gameplay is pure action. Close quarters combat mixed with martial arts, inspired by action movies. Combat features dynamic camera angles that make you feel like you're in an action film, with choreographed finishing moves using various abilities. You can use simple controls for basic attacks or master combinations for flashy, cinema-quality takedowns. The developers promise varied animations so fights stay fresh and exciting. Bosses require actual strategy, not just button mashing. The game's built in Unreal Engine 5 with custom animation software called Cascadeur that Neki developed themselves. Visually, it's stunning cyberpunk with modern, sleek aesthetics, featuring contrast between utopian areas and gritty alleyways. The story is single-player focused. Neki says it's entering final stages of development, with a release date announcement coming soon, probably mid-2026. Price likely $60 to $70. If you loved stylish action games with parkour elements, Spine might be perfect for you. Crystal Dynamics and Flying Wild Hog are remaking the original 1996 Tomb Raider, and Legacy of Atlantis launches in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. They're going all in with Unreal Engine 5, modern gameplay, and celebrating Tomb Raider's 30th anniversary. You play as Lara Croft, voiced by Alex Wilton Reagan, hunting for pieces of the Scion, an artifact of incredible power from the lost civilization of Atlantis. The adventure takes you to Peru's jungles, Greece's ancient ruins, Egypt's deserts, and a mysterious Mediterranean island. Classic locations, but now with stunning next-gen visuals, modernized controls, and expanded storytelling. The trailer showed Lara doing swan dives, handstand ledge pull-ups, horizontal bar swinging, all the acrobatic gymnastics from the original, but smoother. That iconic T-Rex encounter is back, redesigned to feel exciting like the first time. The developers say they're balancing modern player expectations with the methodical, puzzle-focused gameplay of 1996. Expect intricate environmental puzzles, dangerous traps, wildlife encounters, and lots of exploration rather than constant combat. Flying Wild Hog made Evil West and Shadow Warrior, so they know action, while Crystal Dynamics brings the Tomb Raider expertise. It's published by Amazon Game Studios as part of their push into AAA gaming. If you link your Amazon Games ID to PlayStation Network, you get a free Mediterranean wetsuit outfit at launch. Standard price probably $70, releasing alongside Tomb Raider, Catalyst in 2027, which is a totally new adventure. Legacy of Atlantis is pure nostalgia for longtime fans and a fresh starting point for new players who never experienced classic Lara. Look, I've been covering games long enough to know that sometimes games get delayed into the next year. That's just part of game development. Developers want to make sure everything's perfect before releasing, and that takes time. But here's the exciting part. Even if some games get delayed, 2026's lineup is genuinely impressive. Chinese studios are showing amazing creativity. Capcom's bringing back franchises we thought were gone forever. Insomniac's making Wolverine for older audiences, which is a new direction for them. Will GTA 6 actually release in November? We'll find out. Will Wolverine get pushed to 2027 because Insomniac wants to make it absolutely perfect? It's possible. Might some of these games need extra polish at launch? Sure, but that's the exciting part of following gaming. We get to experience incredible adventures, and every year brings surprises. And judging by this list, 2026 is shaping up to be really special. If you made it this far, drop a comment telling me which game you're most excited about. I'm personally super hyped for multiple titles on this list. Make sure to subscribe if you want more gaming content and updates, and I'll see you when these awesome games start releasing. Thanks for watching, and get ready for an amazing year of gaming.